Hello, everyone, and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. We are live airing from the UK, and that is at 8 p.m. in the UK. So we're doing a lot earlier show than normal. So that's all good. So I hope you're all listening. And so I was thinking about the show that we're going to do. Actually, first, before I do that, I just want to sort of say where you can find me, because I think that's important, because often people think, well, where do I find Gail? So first of all, my name's Gail Moffat. You can find me on Facebook, which is Gail Moffat, British international medium and teacher. And you can also find me on my website, which is gailmoffat.com. So I do hope that you can come and find me after the show, perhaps. Anyway, I was thinking about what we're going to talk about tonight. And one of the things that, so I was asking the spirit world, what would you like to talk about? And so they said to me, talk about the meaning of life. And the meaning of life is, on the one hand, can be very complicated, but on the other hand, is quite simple. And so I'm going to try and give the complicated version and the simple version, and hopefully I'll get it across. But I know that I only want to spend about 5 minutes talking, because I know that we're going to have hopefully 2 callers calling in. So first of all, I want to say that the meaning of life is all about learning life's lessons. And they can be hard or difficult or easy, or, it can be of a varying degree. And that can depend upon the soul and the soul's purpose of life. So, for instance, the purpose, say, if you take my purpose is to perhaps reach people and create an understanding of spiritual matters. And whereas another person's purpose is to perhaps do some sort of medical work, or to look after animals, or to teach children, or, all sorts of things like that. And that can be quite rewarding in itself. But, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be, something sort of big like that. It can be sort of just looking after your family, or, and within the dynamics of the family, you learn many lessons. So, it's quite sort of extraordinary when you think about it. And one of the things that I've learned over the last year, and done a lot of work on reincarnation, is just exactly how environmental we are as spirits. We recycle ourselves, and there is such a thing as reincarnation. Absolutely. And I know that for a fact, because I've done a lot of reincarnation work on myself and discovered lots of lives that I've been involved in, which is and has made sense to my life and my sole purpose today. And there's been times when I've watched near-death experiences on YouTube. There's lots of them. You can go onto YouTube and see lots of them where they talk about how, their body rose from the hospital bed, and they were on the ceiling looking down, and then suddenly they saw a white light and a tunnel, and they started moving down the tunnel, and then lo and behold, they found themselves in the spirit world, or heaven, or whatever you want to call such a place. And they often meet up with loved ones and relatives. But one of the things that I find interesting is that a lot of people have reported that they have understood every aspect of their soul and their spirit when they came away from their human body. And that sort of, what that says to me, my understanding of that is that they are aware of the lives that they've lived previously, and they are aware of their sole purpose and what they came to the earth plane to achieve. Now, I hope that, we we can all achieve that soul purpose and do what we came here to do, because it would be frustrating to do it again, I guess. I'm not sure that I'd want to do this again. But anyway, I know that our soul purpose is given to each and one of us, and it's given to us by God. We are meant to be here. We are meant to learn our lessons. And that in itself is something quite miraculous. Anyway, I'm very aware that I have a reader. Sorry, not a reader. I'm the reader. Let's get my terminology correct. I have Lauren in Edinburgh waiting for a reading. Are you there, Lauren? And so I know that she's just preparing herself to get ready for the call. But yeah, so I'm aware that we have, I was talking about the soul and the soul purpose and how important this soul purpose is. And I wonder if, when I look at sort of somebody like, let's take Nelson Mandela or Gandhi or somebody like that, and sort of we can look at their soul purpose, how amazing their soul purpose was, and specifically when you think about Gandhi, he managed to bring independence to India, and then he passed. So it's almost like his job was done, the soul purpose was done. So that's sort of interesting, isn't it, about soul purpose? But anyway, I believe we have Lauren in Edinburgh waiting. Hello, Lauren, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, you've got a nice Scottish accent.
Thank you. I've actually got the cold at the moment, so my voice is a bit rough.
Oh, it doesn't sound rough to me. And I love that Edinburgh is a soft Scottish accent, isn't it? It's a lovely accent. So how can I help you?
I was just wondering, you said you were going to get my reading. What kind of reading? A general reading, or?
Well, we can.
Do you want me to ask you a question?
Well, how I work is I'm a medium, so I can connect to loved ones in the spirit world, or I can look at aspects of your life. And so what I generally do is sort of ask people sort of how they want me to work, because we have such a short space of time to get to the point.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy for a message from a loved one.
Okay, is there somebody in particular that you'd like to hear from?
Probably my dad or my granddad.
Right, okay. Right, the first person that stepped forward is your grandfather, and he's here with me. But I'm aware, he's saying to me that he does have, he wants to let you know that your dad is okay, and that he's settled in the spirit world. Now that would suggest to me that it hasn't been long since he's passed to the spirit world. Would you understand that?
Yeah, it's not been that long. It's been like a year.
A year, yeah, because this is what your grandfather. Oh, 3 years, because this is what your grandfather is saying. He's saying that he's okay and he's settled in the spirit world, and he's saying that there's many times when you call out to particularly to your father, sort of, when you have issues or problems, and sort of, and there's been many times where you've said, I wish you were here, because I know that there's a sense of really deeply missing your father, and your grandfather is saying to me that when he passed to the spirit world, I feel that he'd suffered, quite did one of them pass with a lung condition or something to do with their chest?
My dad, he had cancer, like it went all the way through his body. My granddad, I think my granddad's heart went, because I was only young when he died.
Yeah.
I was 14 when he died, like.
Yeah.
My dad, his whole body stopped functioning.
Yeah. Well, I know that there was cancer in the lung as well, because I feel that there was a difficulty with the breathing, and I'm just being made aware of that. And I know that he had a bit of a difficult time of it, didn't he? With all the treatment and everything, and your grandfather is saying that he suffered greatly, with all the treatment. And I'm not telling you anything that you're not aware of, but what your grandfather is pleased to say is that he was the one that came to meet him and help him come across to the spirit world. And he's also saying to me that he looked after him when he got to the spirit world because he needed lots of healing and care. And that's quite often the case when somebody's gone through a difficult passing. They need a lot of healing and a lot of care. But he's absolutely all right now, and has been for some time. But your grandfather wanted to step forward first and let you know that he was the one that has done that for your father. And he's saying to me that you must have said these words that to your grandfather, if you're listening, please can you look after my dad? You must have said those, because he's telling me that that's what was said. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Because I know, and that's why he particularly wants to come forward and let you know that he's done that. Now I'm hearing dad, and I know that your dad is stepping forward, and he's got a big beaming smile on his face, and I feel that he would have been a bit of a laugh and a bit of a joker and sort of good fun to be around. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
and he's a bit of a tease as well. He wouldn't think twice about sort of creating some sort of teasing sort of thing going on with people, and people just adored him though, and I'm seeing lots of flowers, and he's talking about his funeral, because I feel that there was lots of flowers and lots of people that were brought. It came to the funeral. Yeah. It was like it was inundated. And he's showing me some roses, because I feel that there's some roses that were significant with the funeral, and they look like they're either white or cream or yellow. They're a pale sort of colour. Does that make sense to you?
I bought them from my little girl. I bought them roses from my little girl.
Yeah, because I know that they're significant, and he's showing them to me to let you know that he's got the roses. He's got the roses, and there was quite a few. I feel that there was a few things that were put in the coffin as well, and it looks like there may have been some. I don't know whether it's. I can see sort of gold. I don't know whether it's cufflinks or jewelry or watches or something like that. Does that make sense to you?
I'm not really sure about that, to be honest with you.
Okay, because he's showing them to me. So maybe he's showing them to me for a different reason if they didn't go in the coffin. But I know that there's something significant about some of his pieces that he's got. And I'm just asking him what he wants to say about these pieces. Is there a younger male in the family that would have some of his stuff?
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah, and would he have like the things that I've mentioned, like his, I don't know, watch or cufflinks?
Because my mum and dad were divorced, but my mum had all the gold, and my brother, I think, stole it from my mum's house.
Because he's showing me literally a pile of gold things. That's what he's showing to me. So I know that because he's so it's his way of letting you know that he knows what's going on. I'm just going to just double check with him that was what he was trying to say. He says, yes, that's right. He says, and he says, you have to excuse me, I'm not used to communicating, he says, because I feel that this is probably one of the first times that he's communicated. Would that be true?
Yeah, like I can feel him in my house and stuff, and I know he's here because he visits me in the house, because I can feel him. And I hear noises and stuff like that, but I've never actually had to read him properly over the phone or anything.
Yeah. Now I've got somebody waiting online for my next call, and I've only got 10 minutes left. So I'm really sorry it goes so quickly. But I just want you to know before I go that your father, he's like blowing you a kiss, and he says that he wants you to know that he's always there looking after you. Have you got children?
Yeah, that makes sense. I've got a wee girl, yeah.
And has this girl been born after he's passed?
No, she was she was a twin, but I lost one of them, but she was only like one and a bit when he died.
Right, okay, because I feel like
she wasn't even two.
Yeah, because he's drawing my attention to a little child, and and wanting you to know that he's around the child and sees everything that sort of that goes on in the child's life. And also he's showing me lots of pictures that the child has drawn and that are stuck up around the kitchen. What do you know about? He's saying that you're inundated with pictures. It's like there's loads. But that's his way of letting you. That's his way of letting you know that he's around. Listen, if you want to find me or speak to me more, find me on Facebook, Gail Moffat, International British Medium and Teacher, or gailmoffat.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I love your accent. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, so thank you very much. And I have now who I've got. I've got Heather in Simpson Bay, St. Martin. St. Martin, yes. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. And how are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Well, it's probably the afternoon for you, isn't it? It's evening here. Now, I'm doing well. So I'd like to, I know we've only got quite a short space of time, got 10 minutes left. So I'd like to sort of, I'd like to talk about or find out where you'd like me to focus, and whether I'm a medium, so I can look at aspects of your life or connect to somebody that you love in the spirit world.
Okay.
Where would you like me to put my focus?
Actually, someone in the spirit world would be great.
Wonderful. My best bit. I love the mediumship. Anybody in particular, so I can just get them straight away?
Yeah. Do you want the name?
Name and relationship.
Name and relationship. Kiki, and she was one of my best friends.
What I want to say about Kiki is I feel that she's showing me. I feel like she's quite slim, and I also feel with her that she's very attractive. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she's got wavy hair as well.
Yes.
And it's either it's flitting. It's sort of like a black and white that I'm seeing it in my clairvoyance, but it looks like it's fair in colour as opposed to dark.
Well, no, she actually got dark hair, but she's fair skinned.
Right. Well, as I said, it was in black and white that I was seeing.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I know that she's got wavy hair, and she's very, very attractive, and I feel that she would like to look after herself as well. She was well groomed, and I feel also that she liked her clothes and took quite care over her dress and her appearance. and everything about her. Right. Because we've only got a short space of time, I feel like, I've got her. So I'm going to sort of let her talk to you as opposed to bringing in more evidence, because I think we've done enough evidence. Okay. So what would you like to say?
Oh, I want to know if she's okay.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I just want to know if she's okay where she is, whatever. Yeah. I just want to know if she's okay.
Yeah, well, you have to excuse me because I was asking her that. but she's saying to me, did she have children?
No children. She had a couple niece and a niece and a nephew that were very close to her, though.
Right. And have you shown sort of care in some way to them?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. She left suddenly. I mean, nobody was expecting when she went. And so it's been hard on, it's been a few years now, but it was hard on everyone when she was young. Well,
the reason because I just get the feeling that you have, it's like you've kept in touch with some of the members of the family. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, her sister, very much so. I'm in touch with her. I've never met her sister. Her sister lives in Bermuda, but I've kept in touch with her sister very closely.
Right, and she's thanking you for doing that, because it helps her to be have everybody connected. It's like she enjoys that connection.
Okay.
She's saying to me that she remembers. I feel like there were times when you would have gone to sort of parties together, and yeah, and she's showing me like being infatuated with a young man. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, very much so. Mm-hmm.
She and she used to sort of like, before she would go to the party, it was like, oh, I hope I can speak to him, or I hope we're gonna, it's gonna work tonight, and sort of things like that. And she's sort of remembering that about her. But she's saying to me that when she was alive, you used to sort of be, it's like you used to be more of the sensible one. And you used to give her quite sort of grown-up advice. Does that make sense to you?
Right. Yeah, very much. Very much. For sure.
Because she could be a little bit scatty, and a little bit sort of, sort of, do things, and you'd sort of like, what are you doing? But she was quite sort of youthful in her approach to life, but you were always the sort of the woman, the voice of reason and the voice of sensibility, and you always gave her that, the good advice. And she's saying she's so appreciative now of some of the advice that you used to give to her. But there was a little bit of a defiant streak in her. And sometimes she wouldn't always listen to what you were saying to her. But you were quite good in a way, because you wouldn't be forceful in your opinions. You would just sort of like, oh, well, she's doing what she's doing. Does all that make sense?
Very much, yeah. She was the wild child. I was like her island mama.
Yes, yeah. And she's showing me some teddy bears, like, stuffed animals, not real ones, but toy ones. And it's like I can see them all on a bed. And I know that, I don't know why she's showing them to me, because I feel like there's a connection to you and her with those stuffed animals. Does that make sense to you?
That makes perfect sense.
Because I wouldn't be at all surprised if you have some of them.
I do.
Or did.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's acknowledging that. Now we're sort of running out of time. Have you got a quick question before I have to go?
I mean, like I said, I just wanted to make sure she's okay. That's my biggest worry. It's like, I mean, the way she, took her life was horrible, and I just want to make sure she's okay now. So
she says that she's more. She says that she's more than okay. And good. She says it took her. She said it took her a long time to adjust to being in the spirit world, and she's had to work through a lot of things because there was a lot of pain in her and a lot of hurt to do. And I feel like I want to look at my parents that hurt me, but she's saying to me that she's okay now.